Can you imagine being so transparently desperate that your competitors start giggling behind closed doors? That's exactly what's happening to the Los Angeles Lakers right now, and it's honestly painful to watch. This isn't just about basketball moves anymore. This is about a proud franchise that has become the league's punchline, with every general manager in the NBA treating them like that friend who always needs to borrow money. The Lakers have turned their offseason into a public display of weakness, and the basketball world is having a field day at their expense. The public meltdown begins. Let's start with the most embarrassing moment of this entire saga: Rob Pelinka's postseason press conference. Picture this: the general manager of one of the most storied franchises in sports history, sitting in front of cameras, essentially reading his Christmas wish list of the basketball gods. It would be great to have a center that was a vertical threat, lob threat, and someone that could protect the interior defensively, he pleaded, sounding less like a master negotiator and more like a kid writing to Santa Claus. This wasn't strategy. This was surrender. Pelinka might as well have tattooed "We're desperate" across his forehead and walked into every trade negotiation wearing a shirt that says, "Please help US." When you broadcast your weaknesses this openly, you essentially handed every opposing team a roadmap to fleece you in negotiations. The brutal reality hit home when a former NBA executive told Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points, "The whole league knows that not only do the Lakers need a starting center and probably a backup, but they need to bring someone who Luka is going to want to play with." Translation? Every team in the league is licking their chops, knowing they can demand premium prices for even mediocre players because the Lakers have nowhere else to turn. The Bam Adebayo fantasy island entered the Lakers' most delusional pursuit, Bam Adebayo. According to Bovada, Los Angeles sits as betting favorites at plus 190 to land Miami's defensive anchor, which tells you everything about how desperately they want him and absolutely nothing about their chances of actually getting him. It's like being the favorite to win the lottery. Sure, someone has to win, but it's probably not going to be you. Adebayo represents everything the Lakers dream about at night: elite rim protection, switchable defense, and the ability to complement both LeBron James and Luka Doncic. His numbers speak for themselves. He's a legitimate all-star in his prime who could instantly transform their defensive identity. But here's where fantasy crashes into the concrete wall of reality. The proposed trade package of Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Maxi Kleber, and multiple first-round picks sound impressive until you realize what they're asking for in return. Miami didn't build their culture by helping the Lakers solve their roster construction failures. Pat Riley has been building championship teams since before some of these Lakers executives were born, and he's not about to gift wrap his franchise cornerstone and ship him to Los Angeles. The Athletic's Jovan Buah put it perfectly when he said, "I don't think Miami is doing that. Because why would they? The Heat have a 27-year-old all-star who perfectly fits their system, their culture, and their timeline. The Lakers have a collection of nice players and future draft picks that might not even convey. It's not even close to being a fair trade. And everyone knows it except apparently the Lakers themselves. The Andrew Wiggins consolation prize when your dream date says no. Sometimes you settle for whoever's available at closing time." That's essentially what's happening with the Lakers' interest in Andrew Wiggins. Lakers insider Anthony Irwin confirmed that Los Angeles has reached out to Miami about the veteran wing, showing just how wide they're casting their net in search of anything that resembles help. Wiggins brings legitimate production: 19.0 points, 4.2 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 1.2 steals per game in 17 appearances with Miami this season. He's not the defensive stopper he was during Golden State's championship run, but he's significantly better than what the Lakers currently have. The problem? His $28 million salary for a player who's essentially a luxury rather than addressing their core need. $28 million is a lot for Andrew Wiggins, Irwin noted, and he's absolutely right. The Lakers are in such a desperate position that they're considering overpaying for players who don't even solve their primary problems. It's like buying an expensive sports car when what you really need is a reliable truck to haul your furniture. This is where the Lakers situation becomes truly absurd. They need a center so badly that everyone can see it, yet they're exploring trades for wings because apparently any movement is better than no movement. It's roster construction by panic, and it rarely ends well. The leverage catastrophe here is what makes this entire situation so beautifully tragic. The Lakers have managed to eliminate all the negotiating leverage through their own transparency. Every general manager in the league knows exactly what Los Angeles needs, how badly they need it, and how limited their options are. It's like playing poker with your cards face up and then wondering why you keep losing. The financial constraints make everything worse. As a first-apron luxury tax team, the Lakers have limited flexibility in what they can offer. They can't simply throw money at problems like they used to, and their draft capital is limited due to previous trades. This creates a perfect storm where they need to make significant moves, but have fewer resources to work within most teams. Teams that might have been willing to make reasonable deals are now demanding premium packages because they understand the Lakers' desperation. It's basic economics applied to basketball. When everyone knows you're backed into a corner, the prices go up automatically. The Lakers have created their own seller's market, where they're the only buyers. The championship window reality check, perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this entire saga, is the ticking clock that hangs over every decision. LeBron James will turn 41 during the 2025-26 season, and while he continues to defy expectations, even legends eventually face reality. The Lakers are essentially trying to solve a complex puzzle while racing against time itself. Luka Doncic adds another layer of pressure. At 26, he represents the franchise's future, but he also brings immediate championship expectations. You don't trade for a player Doncic's caliber to develop patiently. You do it to win now. This creates an impossible balance where every decision carries enormous weight. The irony is delicious. The Lakers traded away their future to acquire Doncic, and now they need to mortgage even more their future to build around him. It's like taking out a loan to pay off credit card debt. It might solve your immediate problem, but it creates bigger issues down the road. The price of impatience, what makes this story so compelling, is how it illustrates the dangers of panic in professional sports. The Lakers' current predicament isn't the result of bad luck or unforeseen circumstances. It's the natural consequence of years of short-sighted decision-making finally catching up with them. They've created a culture where any move is considered better than no move, where activity is confused with progress. This mentality has led them to make trades that look good in the moment, but created long-term problems. Now they're potentially about to repeat those same mistakes because they can't accept that sometimes patience is the best strategy. The smart play might be accepting modest improvements, rather than swinging for fences they can't reach. Players like Christian Wood or other available centers might not generate headlines, but they could provide basic rim protection without requiring franchise-altering trades. However, this is the Lakers, a team built on star power and media attention. The pressure to make a splash often overrides common sense. The public embarrassment factor beyond the basketball implications. There's something genuinely sad about watching a proud franchise reduce to public begging. The Lakers have always prided themselves on being a destination, a place where stars want to play. Now they're the team that other franchises use as leverage in their own negotiations. "We're not as desperate as the Lakers" has become a common refrain in trade discussions around the league. When your desperation becomes a punchline, you've lost more than just negotiating power. You've lost respect. The betting odds tell the story perfectly. The Lakers are favorites to land Adebayo not because they have the best package, but because they're the team most likely to overpay for him. It's like being the favorite to buy an overpriced house. Sure, you might get it, but everyone knows you're going to pay too much. The verdict? Comedy or tragedy? Watching the Lakers navigate this offseason has been like watching a slow-motion car accident. You can see exactly what's going to happen, but you're powerless to stop it. They're going to overpay for someone, probably someone who doesn't solve their core problems, and then spend the next 2 years explaining why it made sense at the time. The saddest part is that this was all avoidable if they had maintained their composure, kept their needs private, and negotiated from a position of strength. They might have found reasonable solutions. Instead, they've turned their desperation into public entertainment. The basketball world is watching to see whether the Lakers can somehow salvage their dignity while addressing their needs. The early returns aren't promising, but stranger things have happened in the NBA. What's certain is that this offseason will be remembered as either a masterclass in desperation or a cautionary tale about what happens when pride meets panic. So here's my question for you. Is this painful to watch, or are you enjoying the Lakers' public struggles? Do you think they'll manage to make smart moves despite their obvious desperation, or are we watching a franchise about to make some historically bad decisions? Share your thoughts in the comments because, honestly, this story is too wild not to discuss, and I want to hear what you think happens next. If you're loving this drama as much as I am, hit that like button, and let's keep tracking this train wreck together.